All right, a different one today. Welcome once again. I'm Steve,
Yes.
and Zach is actually not going to be part of this video today. I'm not sure where he is, but he is not answering. So I'm going to contact him, so maybe he'll be here, maybe he won't. Yeah. Either way, the three of us are the Tourney Junkies. Our site is www.tourneyjunkies.com. I recommend over there, read over our bios, check the maps, comment, vote, for sure. Um, anyway, let's get right into it. No use wasting any more time. We'll go ahead and start results from last week, which were on the hero side of things. Scott Pilgrim beat Chief Pilgrim fairly easily. There wasn't very many votes for him, and I think we all agreed on that last week. So okay. And on the other side, this was a little bit closer. Felonious Groove from Despicable Me was able to beat Honest Groove. That one was closer. They got really close, but I think that was won in the end. Anyway, those matches are done, so we should move on to the point. There's our 18th matches in the first round of the Heroes and Villains tournaments. And on our Heroes side, we did something a little special because tomorrow is Independence Day in the States. We figured, why not? It is going to be between Captain America and John Rambo from the First Blood and Rambo movies. So that's this particular one is going to take this battle is going to take place in the castle, not as America. But these two do have access to the dossiers on each other, and they do have 24 hours of prep time. So, I guess we'll go ahead and go over them. I'm going to do Rambo first. It's yours.
Sure. Rambo is a veteran of the Vietnam War. He was part of the U.S. Army Special Forces. Basically, he gets back home and he realizes his country doesn't care much about him. And he gets in trouble and he ends up, what would you call it? Basically, military prison.
It's basically like a prison camp. So,
anyway, the U.S. Army keeps trying to bring him back in, even though he doesn't want to fight or anything like that anymore, because he's just been through way too much and he just wants peace. But they keep bringing him back in. He has to keep going back so he can help people because he's a big guy. As for his stats, he's like peak human in like almost everything, like speed, agility, or not speed, but agility.
Pretty fast though. So yeah, I'd say speed. Strength, endurance. As far as fighting skills, things like that.
And military intelligence and
yeah.
Strategizing.
All that, yeah, exactly.
He doesn't really have any powers because he is a human. He's really good at stealth. Very good at stealth.
He's being a super soldier after that. Moves along there a lot of stuff.
Yeah, training guerrilla warfare. As for weapons, he's going to bring with him a gun, explosives, a huge knife that can cut through barbed wire, and a bow with explosive arrows. So that's about it. He's just really, really badass.
So this one, his opponent is actually one of Zach's bios, but with Zach being in my, I will have to take over this the character as well. Captain America is one of the oldest Marvel characters. Maybe back even when it was timely comics, before it was Marvel, back in the 40s. Steve Rogers wanted to join the U.S. Army and fight in World War II, but he was denied because he was small and weak. So He was denied, but they saw potential in his drive, so they got him to be the first participant in Operation Rebirth, which was the U.S. Army's attempt at making super soldiers. So they injected him with a cocktail of drugs, and it enhanced his abilities way beyond what he was doing. But when the scientist who had all of it, not written down yet, all up here, he dies as they're creating Captain America. So he's the only one. Cap is like he is what you would think of as a prototypical superhero. He is brave, protects the innocent. He follows orders up to a point, unless it conflicts with what he knows is right. He will not go that far. He will stand up against his own government, and he has in the past. Cap's stats are at least peak human. I mean, honestly, the super soldier serum makes his strength, durability, agility, speed, fighting skills. I mean, his fighting skills, he's one of the best fighters in the Marvel Universe. So, I'm going to put him up there. All of the stats are at least peak human, if not slightly superhuman. Intelligence is very high, especially in military tactics and art and history. Those are the topics that he really excels in. Wisdom is pretty high. I mean, he's who other Marvel heroes turn to when they have a question. He's the one that seems to be the one. He does have a little bit. He is a little bit of out of time because he's frozen for so long. Yeah, because he fought in World War II. Him and his partner Bucky, and while stopping an experimental plane, a missile from being fired in New York City, it explodes, and both of them are thought to have been dead. In reality, Bucky survives. The Russians find him, and Cap ends up frozen in ice to be thawed out years later. Kind of depends on what story you're going by, how many years later. But either way, he's definitely out of time. He misses a big portion of everything, and so he's trying to have to catch back up. Cap doesn't really have any powers per se. Even though being superior beyond his stats, he doesn't really have anything. Doesn't really have any weaknesses to go with it, other than he still is weak against most conventional weapons. He's not bulletproof. He's tough, but he's not bulletproof. The only weapon he's going to be bringing, unlike Rambo with all his arsenal, Cap brings one weapon, and that's his shield. It's an adamantium vibranium alloy. It's a unique alloy, incredibly strong. And Cap is a master marksman with it, and able to control the ricochets of it and make it hit wherever he wants it to hit and come back to him. It's a skill that you don't really see anywhere else, but Cap has got it down. And really about it for Cap. So, you know anything this one, Joe?
I think this is a really tough choice because I think they're pretty evenly matched.
They're pretty well matched, I guess.
Possibly Cap might be a little stronger and stuff, but Rambo brings more weapons
It's not
and
like Cap.
explosives.
It's not like Cap is not used to fighting against people who have greater weaponry or even greater powers than that.
Right.
I'm kind of basing my vote on who they routinely beat. And Rambo beats armies, yes, I know, by himself. So I mean, that's very impressive. However, Cap does that. However, he also beats other superhumans who are way stronger than he is, way more powerful. So my vote to Cap.
I can see that. Probably need to be a little bit more. I think.
That's fine. I mean, no one's fortunately picking this game.
I mean, it's hard not to go for the comic book superhero.
I agree. I mean, I initially thought, I was like, oh, Rambo has the more power. But I was like, you know what? Have juice to go. Tanya's going to be here for that. Super soldiers are kind of really good. Thank you. That is only a good match. A perfect match for the fourth draw. I'll put it there.
Next match. Next villains match is Godzilla versus Sinestro. They're on the battlefield and they have bios and
Which means nothing.
at least
Godzilla can't read. In Sinestro's case, the ring will tell you. Alright, so on these. Godzilla is Godzilla. He's a giant lizard. Created by nuclear testing in Japan. He's a destructive force. Basically, he destroys Tokyo or whatever city he's in, but he also has a way of beating other monsters. Just like a turf kind of thing, territorial deal. But he does tend to beat up a lot of other monsters. So much so that Godzilla is almost heroic sometimes. But he's still, honestly, he's the villain. He's still in our villain. Godzilla is huge. He's many stories tall. They were walking on skyscrapers. Incredibly strong, obviously owing to his size. Incredibly durable. Fast for his size. Not like overly so, but he can get where he's going.
He can drop kick.
He can drop. That's
What? Who is he fighting in that one? Yes.
It was like a tag team match. Like him and that one was supposed to almost be ultra. Anyway. Okay.
You heard the stats.
Yes. His agility is not all that great, but it's not bad. Probably average.
He can drop kick.
He can drop kick, which is amazing for a giant lizard. Intelligence is low because he's almost animalistic. He's a beast. He doesn't really think things through. Same with wisdom. Willpower, that's a little bit different. He does seem to have a pretty strong will in that if he wants something destroyed, he won't think it's destroyed. So I consider that a good measure of willpower. Fighting skills doesn't really need to be, an expert martial artist or anything. It's a giant lizard.
But he can drop kick.
Not only does he have his stats and his size, he also can breathe atomic fire. Very devastating. Very powerful. Stems from the atomic bomb tests. It's a superheated plasma blast that you can shoot out. Really not releasing the upper limit of it. It does a lot of damage. Very powerful. So Godzilla is definitely a heavyweight. In more ways than one. Definitely go for it. However, he's also against another heavyweight, even if he is smaller. Match, and that would be Sinestro, head of the Sinestro Corps and first year Olympic. Sinestro was born on the planet Corridor. People are purple. And he became an archaeologist. Then one day, while he was digging in some ruins, a Green Lantern crashed, being chased by a weaponer of Horde from the antimatter universe, using the yellow light to take advantage of the Green Lantern's weakness to yellow. And this, after injuring this Green Lantern enough that he could not fight back, the weaponer injured him enough where he couldn't fight back, so he loans his ring to Sinestro. Sinestro uses the Green Lantern ring to fight off this weaponer of Horde, and then instead of giving the ring back and allowing it to heal this Green Lantern, he keeps it and leaves the Green Lantern to die. He then joins the Green Lantern Corps and basically becomes a tyrant over his own planet. With the power of the Green Lantern, he rules it and oppresses his people. He does this for years until one day, his new apprentice, Hal Jordan, calls for help while they're having a battle on Corridor. And the rest of the Green Lantern Corps arrives at Corridor and sees what Sinestro has done to his planet, and they strip him of his ring. Take his ring away. Not only do they do that, ban him from the core, they banish him to the antimatter universe, to the planet Core, where the Weaponers are from. However, the Weaponers don't like the Green Lanterns either. And so them and Sinestro get together, and the Weaponers create a ring, a series of rings, that harness the yellow spectrum, the yellow of the emotional spectrum of Pete. And they give the first ring to Sinestro, who then sets about to create, one, to destroy the Green Lantern Corps, the Guardians of the Universe, and especially Hal. But he does eventually realize that he cannot do it alone. He cannot take an entire Corps by himself. So he sets about to find the scariest, most fearsome, and sickest monsters in the entire universe and give them yellow rings. So he gets a strange collection of terrifying creatures. Each one weirder than the last. But he doesn't need them in this way. It's one-on-one. Sinestro is his stats. I mean, Sinestro is all about conflict and revenge. That's it. Mainly, he sets out to take over. He wants to get revenge on all Green Lanterns, Guardians, and he is arrogant, beyond arrogant. He thinks he's the strongest, best Lantern. He was the best Green Lantern when they were there. He's better than the entire Corps. He's conniving, cunning, intelligent, and ruthless. He will use any tactic, any resource he has at his disposal to win and get what he wants without batting an eye, without thinking twice at all. He will never. There is no remorse in Sinestro. On to stats, his strength, agility, his strength, endurance, agility, and speed are all average when he's on his own. He's not like Hal was, when Hal was still at the gym, he still gets to be human. Dahl does not. His intelligence is above average, although he thinks he's smarter than he is. But he is still above average. His wisdom is slightly above average as well. And his willpower, like all former Green, like anyone who's ever held a Green Lantern ring, is through the roof. Basically, if the Green Lantern ring has ever chosen you, your willpower is near the top. Fighting skills are not of any real consequence here because he doesn't tend to be unarmed. No magic, no mental powers, and no energy on his own. However, and no powers on his own either. On his own, Sinestro is cutting. Ruthless. That's all he's got going for him. He also has no real glaring weaknesses, other than all of his powers come from his ring. The yellow power ring he wears on his finger allows him, gives him all the powers of the Green Lantern ring. So he can fly, even in space. It can create force fields. It can create anything that he imagines. It can scan structures, living things, and basically tell him all about them. Gives him bios without us even giving him bios. Can also translate languages. It's really just a very powerful weapon to do basically anything. It's essentially magic. It's really unlimited by imagination. It does normally wear out after either 3 days of normal use or shorter if you're using it more intently. So we're also going to give Sinestro his yellow power battery so that he can recharge the ring. About it for Sinestro. And like we said, this one's on the battlefield, so it's a war zone going on. Although in the last couple matches on this field, I don't think this one's going to be where the people can kill either one of our fighters. So I don't think that plays as much into this as it did the last 2 times. So what do you think about this one?
As fearsome as I think Godzilla is, I think that Sinestro with his brain and his power will be Godzilla.
You know, just put sequence.
I like Sinestro one.
That's what's happening.
He just shield himself with it, or throw the bus back at him with his ring.
And I gotta say, Godzilla is strong. Godzilla is, he's the prototypical giant monster. He's good. But yeah, Sinestro is smarter, and with the ring, he can definitely do some serious damage to Godzilla and take him down. Yeah, I think so. That's what I voted for. You agree? If you disagree, either way, head over to tourneydunkies.com. Read over our bios, check out the maps, the battlefield conditions. Comment, let us know what you think. Head over to our Amazon portal and buy research materials for these, the Godzilla movies, Sinestro Cold War comics, Cab comics, Rambo movies, or anything else related to them, or anything else you really want to. Just follow through our portal, head over to Amazon, help us out. And, most importantly, vote. Make your voice heard. If you don't vote, what are we going to do? Anyway, next matches. We're going to give you a preview for next week. On the hero side of things, it is going to be between the one, Neo, from the Matrix films. And he will be going up against Ben the Human. The two great heroes from their own worlds against each other. I'm looking forward to that one. Tell us about the bonus matches of yours.
Is Dr. Frankenfurter from My Horror Picture Show versus Donkey Kong from the original Donkey Kong arcade. So when he's that Donkey. Well, they're not exactly the same.
Technically, according to Rock Country, they're different Kongs. But this is Donkey Kong. It's basically like Cranky Kong in his prime, back in his barrel throwing prime. Barrel throwing, princess grabbing, building climbing prime. So yeah, So these matches will end tomorrow night at midnight, and so that's when the new one's posted. So how long you have to vote? So go make your voice heard. Let us know. We will be back and slightly earlier than we would normally be. Our next video, because that's not busy on Friday, is going to be this Thursday, 6 o'clock.
Well, 5:30.
Yeah.
But we'll post on Facebook and on the blog. For sure.
Right.
Probably 6 weeks.
So like I said, this is the blog. Vote. Is your votes will us determine who